Thursday. Can you believe it's Thursday already? It's crazy. Time has just flown by, especially the end of this year. And getting everything done this time of year is always such a challenge. And it seems like I have a whole bunch of extra things to do this year. So anyways, but hope you have had a great week. I'm Paula from Desert Cat Creations, and I want to thank you for joining me for our weekly Bead Stash Challenge design reveal. Hey, Janelda. We'll be making a keychain today, and we're going to use a clasp in our keychain, so that'll be different. And we are going to use a pirate theme. We are going to use some upcycled beads, and we are going to use mermaid beads. So we'll show you what that's all about in a few minutes. Oh, excuse me. For any of you that haven't taken advantage of it yet, our sale is still on. It runs through the 14th of December. If you go to our website, which was on at the beginning of this video, but it'll also be on again. Gotta be careful that I don't fall out of my chair here. But that sale is going through the 14th. You get 20% off your order, and you get a free bottle of beads. There's metal beads, there's crystal beads, there's a little bit of gemstones, just a little bit, but mostly crystals. Every bottle will be different, so that's why I don't show you exactly what's in there, but but it is a decent amount of beads. And then this weekend, I have a class that I'm taking most of the day on Sundays, so I think I will do our drawing a day early, because Monday's a whole nother story of lots of stuff going on anyways. So so we will do our week 49 drawing on Saturday, even though it's not quite week 49 yet, but I'll be doing it Saturday at noon. If you can't make it, that's fine. You can catch the replay. And then Thursday, I don't know. It will not be at our regular time. I am going to be at my sister's house, so hopefully I will have time to make my project and do a live. If not, I will make it and post it. But I'm pretty sure Thursday, we might be able to go on a little bit late. Depends on what's on the schedule there, though. So going out to spend some time with family before the holidays, before travel gets crazy again. So anyways, then after that, everything should be back to normal through the end of the year. Okay, so that also means if you order next week, if you order any later than Sunday, this Sunday, your items are not going to be shipped until the 14th or that week. Okay, so just let you know that, I usually try to ship fairly quickly, but it's going to be delayed. So, all right, so I know we're starting a little late. Let me flip the camera over and let's look at what we're working with today. All right, so there again is our website. I've been putting links in the sale posts. I put another sale post up last night. Just a reminder, if you don't have the card decks, I'll be putting one more up with our bead mixes and stuff. So that will be coming as well. So if you've missed out on any of those, now's a great time to get them. So, all right. Okay. So today we are gonna make a keychain. All right, so I decided to go with the traditional keychain split ring as the main part of my keychain there. Then we had the use a sliding clasp or not in our design. So I know that card's a little confusing. So, you know, sliding knot is when you're using the, wish I had one out here, but I don't have one handy. But, you know, the knots that you pull the cords, and it's just providing you, that's the sliding knot. We're going to use the sliding clasp. So we're going to use one of these, beads. It's basically, you know, a metal bead with a silicone center. These are also, you know, on those like Pandora style things. These can be used to hold your beads in place too. So some people don't think of them as a clasp. I use them on leather all the time. Hey, Lorraine. All right, some wire. Let's see, what else are we doing? We need to use some mermaid beads. So I've got a couple different things out. So one, these Aurora, also called Aurora beads, are, you know, often referred to as mermaid beads because of the nice reflections you get in them. Right? And I'm also, just for funsies, I am going to use a mermaid tail in my design. So we're double dipping on the mermaids there. All right. Then we have to use upcycled or leftover beads from other projects. So I pulled a couple of beads. This is from a necklace that I got from Stars Beads when she was thrifting. So it's one of the thrifties. So it is a upcycled. I've been taking the necklace apart and using beads out of it. And then we had to be inspired by a pirate. So, you know, you can't be a pirate without some Jolly Rogers, right? So I have some Jolly Rogers. I also have these, I don't know, I bought these strands of, these are carved bone, but they're skulls. I just thought they were super fun. I got those from Nina Kittleson over at Hole in the Wall Beads on one of her sales. She comes up with a lot of stuff it's kind of old stock stuff, so things that are hard to find, but there's where our pirate theme is going to come in. And then I just have some pieces of leather because I got to use my sliding clasp, right? Then I had a couple other beads just to add some more fun. Using some size 2 check glass beads because they fit nicely on the 1.5 millimeter leather. And then I had, you know, some other beads out here just in case I needed them, but we'll see because I haven't totally thought out this design. So I'm going to use some scraps of leather. I'll go with the longer one. So it's 1.5 millimeter leather, which is my favorite to work with because it's thick enough that you can kind of use it by itself, but it's thin enough that you can tie like nice knots, and you can get a larger variety of beads onto it than you can the 2 millimeter leather. Okay, so I've told you guys before that I do like using 1.5 millimeter. All right, I'm going to move my cards out of the way because they don't really add to you being able to see what I'm working on. So I'm thinking we're going to have a multi strings hanging down from this. This is my design that I thought. So one, I'm going to hook the leather directly on here, and then I'm going to put my sliding clasp on there, okay? Now, these bone skulls will fit on the leather. My upcycled beads will fit on the leather. My turtle will fit. And my number 2 beads will fit, but none of my piratey themed stuff or my mermaid beads will fit. So that's going to be on a separate, we're going to use wire to put that on there, okay? So let's go ahead and put our clasp on here. You know, I could put the clasp on first and then add it to the ring, but then this way I don't have to slide it around. So remember what I like to do in these sliding clasps is I take this crochet hook. I think it's technically a rug hooking hook, but that's okay. And I push that silicone ring out, or I pull it out, push or pull, whatever works. Actually, I think I need to I am struggling with that today. All right, let me get a hold of that one. I don't want it to come out. Come on. All right. Really, usually this is easier, but I'm going to use my surface to help me here. You know, you got to be careful not to break that ring. So you don't want something too pointy. You need to have a little bit of rounded end. But basically, your clasp will end up in these 2 pieces. So you have your. That makes your left hand hurt. Actually, I don't think my left hand had to work that much, but it was a little harder. So anyways, you end up with 2 pieces. So then what you do is you take your 2 pieces of leather and you stretch that on there. It should slide. It slid right on. Now these do come in different sizes. So I used the ones with the 3mm opening. But they do come smaller than this as well as larger than this. So you do have to pay attention, because if you use one that's too big for your leather, it's going to slide right off. But in this case, we're going to have beads under there, so it will not be a problem. All right, so then I slide that second piece on. And then I am just going to tuck this in there. All right. And I am going to do it down here. So I'm pushing the silicone back down into the metal bead. Yeah, I guess I can understand that, because you have to use pressure. Good thing you're not left-handed, Janelda, right? Or are you left-handed? All right, so I pushed it back in. Now it can slide on this leather, and it's, you know, small enough that it's not going to slide off. Now in this case, I don't necessarily want the ability to adjust things here. You know, sometimes I do. So I could, if I wanted to, go ahead and tie a knot there. Or I can just go ahead and start loading up my beads and assume they'll be high enough that it won't slide much. So I think I'm not going to do the knot, just because we are And we're going to use our tube to make knots today. So let's put, you know, one of our seed beads on there. And then maybe so I have this combination. Do you think should I put seed beads like in between? So that way, or seed beads as spacers between everything. What do you think? Do you like it with spacers, or do you like it shorter with just the beads? I think I like it with the spacer beads, personally. All right, so let's go ahead and I am going to put a knot somewhere near the bottom, and that's only because I'm trying to, you know, save a little bit of leather. So we're going to do our knot. Now, you can use like the metal tube. You could use part of a straw. You can use, somebody I heard the other day uses a piece of macaroni. You can use that other rosary tool that I have, but we're going to use the tube today. So I need a little bit of space, you know, because you have to have like a fair amount of material to work with when you're making these kind of knots. And I'm just going to do twice around, and then I'm going to slide the tube down, and I'm sticking the end into the tube, and it's far enough that I can pull it out. Now, I wanted to put this fairly close to the end, so I'm going to just push it down with my fingers a little bit, and then we are going to pull. So we have a nice looking knot there, even if it's not a full barrel knot, right? It's a short barrel knot. All right, and then we're going to put something on the other side. Now, I am going to shorten this up because, you know, I don't want it super long. That's probably a pretty good length. So on this one, I think I'll get a couple more beads out so that we can make it matchy-matchy with the other side. Although I'm going to put my beads in a different order. I think I'll put, we're going to use the turtle on this side. And then I'm going to use the other skull below the turtle. All right, let's look. So that's what our other side is going to look like. So I want it, you know, somewhat around the same thing. So for this one, I don't want my knot near the end, which makes it a little easier. So I'm going to take my tube, put it, you know, near the beads. And again, we're just going to wrap twice around. And I'm going to slide the leather through there. And we are going to pull it out the other end. Now, before we tighten it up, let's make sure we have it at a good length. So if you need it to adjust it, you just have to kind of use your fingers to force it, you know, one way or another. I actually think it's in a pretty good spot, so I am just going to, I'm lightly holding it with my left hand so that it doesn't twist or overlap itself. And then I'm kind of pushing and pulling with my right hand until I get that on there. All right. So in this way, by doing the one end, you know, near the end and then pulling it through, I still saved myself a few inches of leather. You know, you could throw this away, but you know what? This is enough. Like if you're making earrings or something small. So I keep that, I keep a lot of pieces trimmed. So that would be a fun keychain right there. But you know what? I don't have my mermaid beads on there yet. So I still have to figure out how we are going to attach our mermaid. So you know, I have these skulls, so I don't necessarily have to use the Jolly Roger, but I do need a mermaid bead. What do you guys think? Does that look like a good combination there? Now, I didn't have to have the mermaid tail and the mermaid beads. I could use one or the other. So the question is, should I attach it like right onto the leather so I only have one dangle? Or should I make it a second dangle? What do you guys think? Well, you guys think about separate or attached. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to string up these. Now, if I wanted to put motion, I could, let's see what this looks like. I can put, you know, do a wrapped bead or a wrapped loop for each of these separately. Or we can put these together. One dangle. Actually kind of feeling like I need. What do you think? Doing that with the tail, or do you think I need that second bead? This wire is a little soft. I think I'm going to pull out my 20 gauge. I don't know, that 22 is a little too bendy for something like a keychain that's going to get knocked around. So I am going to use. So actually, well, what? I'm thinking that I should do separate. Let's see, make sure that this fits. So I think I will make these each part movable. So each one's going to be wrapped, but we're going to dangle the tail off of here, so building from the bottom up. So I've got the one bead on here, and I need a decent size loop so that this can move. So I'm going up, leaving myself a little room, and go further down my pliers and see if that will be big enough. We may have to adjust. All right. All right. So I wondered about that. So these particular ones are a little thick. So I can't use, I'm going to need a straight edge to go through the bead itself. So I'm going to straighten this back out. Well, part way. All right. So I'm doing my 90-degree bend, but then I am going to slide this on there, and we're making sort of a triangle with a little bit of space so it can swing. Okay. So see, I had a straight edge at the bottom because this is thick, and we're coming back up. And then I am just going to kind of squeeze these together. Not going to swing a whole lot, I'll tell you that. But we are going to. Oh, thanks, Lorraine. We are going to try to give this a little room here. I don't want to do it too tight either, because I don't know if these are, when I bought them, they said they were glass, but I honestly, it feels like plastic to me. Which plastic might hold up a little better, because like I said, you know, when you got your keys on your keychain, just throwing them on the counter or your purse, in your purse, they kind of, things get beat up a little bit. All right, so, all right, this has to go this way, obviously, but so we got our Jolly Roger, we got our keychain. So, you know, I could, no, well, I still want to use, I don't know, let's see. So if I hang this from the leather, it probably won't hurt to have that one more bead up there. All right, so now I am just going to, I want to make a loop here. This one doesn't have to be very big, and I don't want it very big. Just gonna pull that around. And tuck it in there. I do need to make sure that the tail is facing the right way, right? All right, now we just need a small loop here. Slide that on. And wrap that. Again, this is 20 gauge, so it's a little stiff, but I'm going to trim that because I don't want a big wrap. So it looks like all of you are going to be making designs with brown in them this week. All right, so here I'm going to make a loop that's going to go onto the leather. So I'm going to make a little slightly bigger loop. And then I'm going to leave a tail so I can do the wrap. All right. So I am just going to slide this on here, up around the loop. And let's see how. It'll kind of hang like, I think off to the side. It's not going to be in the middle. You're looking for brown. Still think I like it, yeah, better on here though than separate. So, you know, sometimes we get some weird combination when we're working with the cards. Like, I wouldn't have put a clasp on my keychain necessarily. Although I have used a lot of clasps in strange places lately. Alright. Just tighten that guy up. Let's tuck that edge in. Alright. So, there we go. Yay. We've got our piratey keychain, piratey mermaid keychain. Well, but mermaids are totally, you know, they were in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, so, you know, and I gotta think most pirates believe in mermaids, right? So, all right, so we've got a keychain here. We used our sliding clasp. We used our mermaid beads. And we've got our pirate theme. And we've got leftover beads. I think the turtle may have been left over from another project too. I'm not sure. But there we go. You know, you could also, if you decided later, you know, make this a bag dangle or something too. And you can slide these so they're slightly different lengths. So it does give you that flexibility. If I should have like maybe used a jump ring to hang that so it was a little lower, hang over the side better. Oh well. There we go. It fits all their criteria. Yay. And I didn't try to sneak anything Christmassy in there. Sometimes I do that. I try to sneak seasonal stuff into my designs, but I didn't think it would quite work today. Although I will say my we have a you know, a throw blanket that has pirate skulls with Christmas hats on it, so you can have a Christmas pirate-y theme. So it is possible. They do sell things out there. Why I'm trying to fix that. All right. So again, we will be back. Let me flip this. We will. All right, we'll be back on Saturday at noon. The skull beads are awesome. I know. I thought those carved beads were so cool, and I had them out to make something during October, and then I never did get around to using them. But I have this whole strand. I actually bought 2 strands because I thought they were so cool, and they're, like I said, a closeout from somebody. But anyways, all right. I'm putting up my Christmas decorations today, so I had to wear my my kitty cat shirt with the. It's time to get all the Christmas stuff out. So I haven't done that. I've been a little slow this year, but I'm doing it today. Okay, I saw my Thanksgiving stuff up. My turkeys are still out, so. Assuming my assistant doesn't trap me on the couch, I've had to avoid the couch this morning just in case she decides that we need a little togetherness time. But she has been counseled, so don't worry. Anyways, all paid orders are on their way to you guys. Being the Christmas season, the alerts I got said they'll be to you guys early next week. So hopefully all those storms and stuff don't slow anything down. But as always, I appreciate your support of my small business. You know, a lot of small businesses are struggling this year. Everybody's struggling with, you know, the cost of living. So my assistant's name is Cleo, short for Cleopatra. And she is a princess. She knows that. She has her my husband and I wrapped around her little paw, so she gets a lot of attention and gets away with a lot. So, anyways, but yeah, she this time of year she gets extra snuggly because it's cooler, and it's gonna be in the 30s tonight in Tucson, by the way. So. We're having a little cold snap as well. 50s during the day, so. Your helper is moody. Mine's a good eater. That I'm happy that I don't have to deal with that. But sorry to hear she's challenging you. But I think I think girl cats are the ones that really challenge you. My other 2 cats I've had in my, when I've had cats were boys, and they're just goofy and loving. I really enjoyed my boy cats, but not that girl cats aren't goofy, but they're not nearly as goofy as boy cats, I will say. So anyways, enough on the cats. All right, if you're available, I will see you at noon on Saturday. Otherwise, please catch the replay. And then, like I said, I'll just have to send something out when I have a chance to do, the project next week. But like I said, I may end up making it late in the evening and just posting it, just because, like I said, my days are going to be filled with visiting my 92-year-old father, and my sister and her family. So, looking forward to seeing everybody. It's been a little while. So, hope you all have a great weekend. And, you know, it's a short time before I'll see you again. But, oh, Janelda, have a great show. I know you said you had a show this weekend. So, good luck with that. And I will see you all on Saturday. And, hopefully everything will be on time next Sunday, week from this Sunday. We get home Saturday night, so I'll post if I'm going to start a little late. Okay, but we'll do it on Sunday. So, all right, see you next week, and I'm sure, I know I'll see all you guys around on the lives elsewhere. So have a great weekend, and good luck with your show. And hopefully if you all have parties or something to go to, you can enjoy yourself a little bit and take time to do some beadings. Please like and follow us at Desert Cat Creations on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We'll see you on Saturday. Bye. Oh, wrong button.